Hey everybody, thanks and praise to Jesus Christ, and thank you for coming back to view another one of these behind the scenes segments with Pieta Rosary. What I'm going to do is show you something familiar and go over how I actually do the setup for the Stations of the Cross. And you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, you did that yesterday. Well, this one I'm going to do a deeper dive on how it actually happens, right? So that's what we're going to do here. So again, I got my two magic scripts here. Well, they're not magic, but they're by the grace of God. Save me a lot of time. So I'm going to click on the live stream one here. And then as you can see, it starts opening up everything like it usually does. And, it'll kind of stall out here on my DLive page. But let me go back to the script itself. And it's asked me, is it Lent now? And so, of course, it is. So I have this script basically programmed, to check on Fridays in February and March to ask, is it Lent? And so if it's not Lent, I just hit enter. And if it is Lent, I put L, capital L or whatever. And then I hit enter, and then it's Lent. So then you'll notice, look at all these. So these three PDFs, or maybe one of them is maybe one of them is a image rather. So let me see here. So let me close this stuff out, and I don't need the PowerPoint open, but so let me get these out of the way. So as you can tell, all three of these opened. This one's, I think, an image, but it's basically the Way of the Cross by St. Jose Maria. And so let's see. At the bottom of this, that's where we finished earlier. This is what I was scrolling on the screen here. Let me see if I can get my... There I am. So somewhere in here, that's at the beginning of this document. And I do have this document somewhere. Where is it at? Okay, well, I give up. Okay, it's from this one. I took a screen capture of this. In this PDF, this is a subsection like I mentioned before. So, it makes it easy for me on Friday because, as you saw, in a little bit under 30 seconds, I have everything opening. And if we count along the bottom, we have a Firefox, we have OBS, we have Terminal, we have WFRN Clock, we have PowerPoint, we have VLC, we have Script Editor. That doesn't always open. So, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes we open up stuff with that. 8, 9, 10, So, that's like 10 things that open up, automatically, one right after the other. So what I'm going to do is share in this segment how this actually works. And, I think, like I've mentioned before, this script that I run off the desktop calls a bunch of individualized scripts to pull off the effects that you just saw. And so that's what we're going to take a dive into here. So I'm going to close some of this stuff out. I don't need the PowerPoint. So here is the Stations of the Cross, and this is an Apple script in the script editor program that's down here. So I'm going to zoom in on this. And so as you can see, the Stations of the Cross, Way of the Cross, the PDF viewer is called Preview in Mac OS. So it's going to open up these 3 files. I got them on my desktop, way the cross, .pdf, and there's the readings that I go over. And then lastly, the PNG portable network graphic file is a screen capture. It opens all 3 of those just like you saw, except they go on the left-hand side, if you recall, and they're not in any particular order or format. So then, so the last one that I open is the portable network graphic. It's an image. I tell system events to tell application process preview to tell window 1, I want you to be this size and this position, and I want you to go on the XY coordinate system from the upper left-hand corner. I want you to go over 2139 and then go down 915. And so that's what basically the second half of this thing is doing. So then that'll align the picture, if you will, up here. So that is, and how do I know that? Because watch, I'm going to turn on Command Shift 4, and then I'm going to put my bullseye in the upper left-hand corner. Now, okay, it's 2138 and 914, but if I move up a little bit or down a little bit, it's in the general vicinity. So the X and Y coordinates. So that's how it knows. And then the other one, it's like the size and position is, 665 and 405. So there are ways that you can query in using the script editor to find out the dimensions of a particular element, so that once you get it sized the way you want it, you can set it in a script just like this. And so that's what I'm doing. So that's the first one that it does. And it does the same thing. It'll say, okay, well, here's the readings one. That's window 2. And then, set it to a certain size and move it on the screen. And then same thing with the main PDF. Tell window 3 to set it to this size and move it to this XY coordinate on the screen. And down here I took a little bit of notes because I think I queried it, which I'll show you. The pound sign comments out these other elements so that it doesn't execute them. It just runs them. And so, when they first open up, they're not zoomed in at all to a viewable state. And so you'll notice that I also have them zoom in on this one and on this one over here. So let me go back to the script here. Let's zoom in so we can see it together. All right, and so here I'm setting some file names and I'm doing some looping, if you will. You can do looping in AppleScript in a script editor. I know it looks intimidating to the person that's never seen this type of code before, but basically I set the file name to the first file and then the second file, and then whichever window contains that file name. So here's where I set the variable file underscore name, and then I invoke the function my get underscore focus 3 comma file name. So then it comes down here and it says, oh, okay, I'm going to loop 3 times, and then the file name is going to be the way of the cross.pdf. And so it tells application system events preview, process preview, to get that window, and it contains the name file name, and file name's a variable, so it's going to be looking for the way of the cross. And so the 3 is the loop count, and the loop count, which we'll see here in a minute, allows it to like zoom in 3 times, I believe. And then the other one, I only need it to zoom in twice. So, so here's what the loop count does. Okay, so, it goes to the application preview, tell window 1, tell process dock, and command key down command, enter keystroke 24, delay 0.5 of a second, and then let up on the command key. So whatever these, there, like I mentioned before, there is key commands for the Mac keyboard, and I've shown that before here, and I'll show it again briefly. But obviously, this block right here is what does the magic of zooming in. And so, it'll loop through one file name, and then it'll set the file name to a new file name, and it'll say I only need it to zoom in twice, and here's the new file name, find the window, execute the process, and then before you know it, it looks, ready to go when I do Stations of the Cross and I'm ready to pray with you all. I'll just, get ready to get it to the right page here, and I'll come over here and say, okay, folks, let's begin our prayers. And then let's start with active contrition. And then I'll just start scrolling this up and saying all these prayers and going over each Station of the Cross. And then the whole time, as you can tell over here, this is where I'm reading that other statement, once, we do the genuflect and, because your holy cross, by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. Then this is what I'm actually reading over here. It's after 10 in the morning, and the trial is moving to its close. So this is where I'm reading them for each Station of the Cross, and then I come back up over here, and then I read this section, consider how, being scourged and all this other stuff. So that's how I keep moving forward. And then up here, I have this as my guide of, after we say the Our Father part, then I say, have mercy on us, O Lord, have mercy on us, as the responsorial. So that's kind of how I'm doing the Stations of the Cross and the magic that goes into it. What I'd like to do now is quickly do an internet search and then show you what the key commands are. They have key codes for every key on the keyboard. Whether it's a PC or a Mac, they got keys for every key code, right? So let me see if I can pull that up right now. And then let me see if I can punch in Google here. And then let me see if I can go over here. And I'm going to type in Mac key codes. And I've pulled this up before. Apple Script key codes. Not sure. I think it's this one. If not, we'll find it. No, that's not what I was looking for. Well, I'm going to let's look at this one. There it is. Okay, so eastmanreference.com. So, I mean, they have, let me zoom in on this. So you can see that it's like the escape key has 53. Yeah, so what is this actually doing? So this is doing key code 24 and the command key. So it's holding down the command key, which is, and some of the, which it just happens to be 55 here. And then it waits for like 0.5 of a second, and then it lets up the command key. So I need to find 24. So let's see where we can find 24. There it is. There's 24 right there. It's the plus or equal key. So that's what it's doing. So command 24. So that's what I did. I figured out, well, how do you zoom in on this thing? And I bet you command 27 is zoom out. So let's experiment with this now. So I'm going to, just so you can see, I'm going to hold down the Command key, and then I'm going to hit the plus key. Hold on. Command plus. As you can see, I can keep hitting plus, and it keeps getting larger, the text in the window. See, I think when it opens, it looks like that, and then in my automation, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then it goes over to this one, and this one's only like out 2 like that. So I'm doing Command plus, and then, or okay, plus plus maybe. So Command minus, or Command key code 27 will zoom out. So that's, so you're seeing on the key, it's this one that zooms out, this one zooms in, with the Command key. So, once you know the key commands, then you can script just about anything for any practical application. All you got to do is know the proper key commands. Oh, okay, it's Command, and then it's 24. Okay, well then that will, zoom it in. So I'll run it again just so you all can track what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to close all these windows with Command Q, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit play on this and watch it do its thing. See, it opens them up on the left, and boom, they move them all over. It zooms in twice or 3 times, and then it gets them all formatted in a format where I left off or whatever. So, I have to find my bearings here. But not too bad for automating, 3 different PDF or image sources with the preview application. And for those that are not familiar, that's what the preview application is. It can be used for opening a wide variety of documents, images, documents, PDF documents, stuff of that nature. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching more behind the scenes with Pieta Rosary. And, it's awesome to be able to share how I can take a process that would take me, 5 to 10 minutes to perfect, and it just opens them up like that, as you saw. I'll close it down one more time. So I'm going to hit the play button. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. So in 5 seconds, all 3 of these documents move over and get formatted the way I would like them or need them, so that when I pray, I can look up and concentrate on getting the prayer on, if you will. So that's all I have for this segment. Thank you once again for joining us, and I'll catch you all at the next Behind the Scenes with Pieta Rosary segment. Thanks.